with exponential functions.
What is an exponential regression? The process of finding the equation that best fits and estimates the relationships among variables. When you're given a set of data that you need to find the exponential equation for, you use exponential regression to find that equation. How to find exponential regression on your calculator. First, you go to Stat, Edit, and you add your x values and y values. Then you go to Second, Stat Plot 1, and Enter. And then you graph and you see your scatter plot. Then you go to Stat, Calc 0, which is exponential regression. Then you enter and go down to Store Reg Equation, go to vars, y vars, and then you go to 1, 1. And then you enter and calculate. This gives you the equation for your data. Then you go to y equals, and there's the equation. You go to graph, and it starts graphing the equation for you, and it should go through the scatter plot you made earlier. That's how you find exponential regression on your calculator. Here's an example problem with exponential regression. Enter this information into your calculator and find the equation. Pause the video here until you've done so. What is exponential growth and decay? This is the increase or decrease of data exponentially. The equation for this is y of t equals a times e to the k times t. Example practice with exponential growth. Solve the following. 2 months ago, you had 3 mice. Now you have 18. So use the equation y of t equals a times e to the kt. Find what each variable is and solve for k. In the equation y of t equals a times e to kt, y of t equals the value at a time. Since the time is 2 months, you find the value at 2 months, which was 18 mice. A is the starting value, which was 3 mice. K is the growth factor or decay factor. If K is greater than 0, it's the growth factor. If K is less than 0, it's the decay factor. T is time, once again, which is 2 months. So to solve this, you input your variables, you input the values for your variables, and the equation is 18 equals 3 times e to the 2k. So you divide both sides by 3 and you get 6 equals e to the 2k. To get rid of e, you do the ln of both sides. So then you get ln of 6 equals 2k. This is because when you find the ln of e to an exponent, it equals the exponent. So then k, simply you have to divide both sides, so k is ln of 6 divided by 2. And you can use your calculator to find that value. What are logarithms? A logarithm is the opposite of an exponential function. It finds how many of a number we need to multiply to get a different number. How many 2's do you need to multiply to get 8? Since the answer is 3, the logarithm would be equal to 2. 3. How to write logarithms as the inverse of an exponential equation. Since an exponential equation is y equals b to the x, and b is the base and x is the exponent, you write your log in the same base, and then y times y equals x, the exponent. So if your exponential equation was 8 equals 2 to the x, what would the logarithm be? Stop the video here until you're done. Since 2 is the base, you would write log 2 times 8 equals x, and then you can use your calculator to solve. How do you transform an exponential equation into a log equation? Since an exponential equation is x to the a equals y, a log uses the same base, so log x times y equals the exponent. An example, x to the 2 equals 9. The log would use the same base, x, times 9 equals 2. Then you can solve for x. Here are some problems for you to solve for practice. Stop the video here until you're done and check your answers. For number 1, since the base is 3, it would be log 3 times x equals 3. Number 2, since the base is 4, it would be log 4 times 16 equals x. And number 3, since the base is x, it would be log x times 1 equals 5.